All right, so pre-snap here, Missouri, this is not the easiest run look in the world. You've got one safety here about 15 yards deep, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Florida Gators. I mean, right near the line of scrimmage here, and sure enough, Missouri snaps the ball, put a guy in motion here. All right, we got a pulling guard here. Badie sees the regular hole here. There's a guy on his right here. He's like, whoop, that's not open. I guess I better run this way. Unfortunately, just too many guys on the outside for Florida here. All right, so 3rd down and 6, down 3-0, Missouri. Runs a little shallow cross here, left side. Towski Dove looks to kind of come open here late, but Bazelak just decides, I don't really want to throw this one. But you know what? Over here on the right side on the far boundary, Kiki Chisholm, number 6. Boy, he sure thinks he's open. I'll promise you that. First of all, let's look at Towski on the left side here. You know, obviously a little bit of a rub combination here from Missouri, trying to get these two Florida defenders to run into each other here in the middle of the field. Doesn't quite work, but really that's a ball you could still throw if you're Connor. Throw it out in front of him. Not going to be intercepted as long as that ball's plenty out in front of him. On the other hand, again, boy, Chisholm just comes wide open here on the right side. Runs past number 24. There's nobody really there. And at this point, you know, freeze frame it here. You look at Bazelak here back in the pocket. Not exactly a lot of pressure there. But Connor doesn't like what he sees on his first read, which is apparently that drag route there, and he decides to keep the ball and run. Well, that doesn't quite get there. Bazelak, obviously not really a threat to run at this point. Frankly, I would have liked to seen him just hang in there a little longer in the pocket, but I understand it is 3rd and 6, and he thinks, hey, maybe I can pick this one up with my legs. Just didn't quite get there. Now, I have to admit I bristled a little bit when I heard some of my friends say that Eli Drinkwitz called a poor game this week, and that's just a little bit too simplistic to me, and here's a good example of why. Is this a bad play call? This is a little shovel pass to Niko Hea here, and early in the ball game, believe me, I was one of the people who was saying, hey, we need to stop force-feeding Badie and actually use him as a distraction, use him as a decoy. Well, here we are here late first quarter, and that's exactly what we do. We put Badie in motion here off to the trip side. Certainly looks like a screen pass to him, a swing pass, and you can see Florida defenders pointing this way. Oh, hey, look, Badie. You see 24 out here for Florida. Look at these guys all flowing his direction. So that's, hey, mission accomplished there. Badie certainly effectively used as a decoy here, in my humble opinion. So now here you see on the left side, Niko on the left side of the offensive line here, gets the shovel pass, pulling guard out in front of him. 72 hits the Florida player here, whoever that guy is, and, well, frankly, just doesn't do a very good job of blocking him. He's just got to take this guy out, and frankly, if he does, and you could also argue maybe Niko needs to flatten that out a little bit and hit this hole a little bit harder. Regardless, if Niko gets past this guy here, if there's a little bit better block, well, look at this hole. Who's going to stop him from getting a first down at the very least? He's probably going to run over the corner here, number 24, probably get a first down. Look at the Missouri blockers here out in front. 66 is ready to hit somebody downfield. You know, unfortunately, that's a really well-designed play that Missouri just didn't quite execute well enough. So to me, if you're going to say Eli Drinkwitz called a bad game, give him credit for well-designed plays that didn't work, if you want to be really truthful about the whole thing. Now, on the other hand, if you want to say that using Barrett Bannister as your distraction player, using him as a decoy, that might be a little bit of a far-fetched scheme to get Tyler Badie the ball. Well, this next snap certainly proves your point here. Hey, let's give it to Barrett. Hey, oh wait, we're going back to Tyler Badie, and the Florida defense is not fooled by that whatsoever. Yeah, I mean, you look at the middle linebacker here, he's just basically spying Badie and following him. He never takes one false step toward the left, toward Bannister whatsoever. So nice job by number 11 there, the Mike, on this particular situation, the middle linebacker. Yeah, nicely done. It's good disciplined football, and certainly, the coach is telling him, the new defensive coordinator's telling you, hey, number 1, Badie, yeah, stay on him in this scenario. So as I go back and watch this game here, this is the first time I started noticing the boo birds come out in Columbia. It's 3rd and 14, and it seemed to me, I don't know if this was directed at the play call per se or directed at Connor, but either way, I don't think it's, once again, much of a fair criticism if that's what you're booing, because look what happens here on 3rd and 14. Now, I can understand why you'd be frustrated. Oh, no, they're throwing short of the sticks here to Tyler Badie. But if you look at the play design, I don't think that was the original read of this whatsoever. Now, if I'm Connor Bazelak, it's 3rd and 14. Pre-snap here, see Barrett Bannister, number 11, the 3 receivers. The guy farthest to the inside here is Barrett Bannister. He'd be my first read because, well, he's going to run a post route here. That's a fairly easy read if they don't have sort of a guy up under him. But, well, as you see, the ball is snapped here, and Florida indeed does have a defender. Number 11 is definitely covering that post route. You can't throw that there. But here's the bigger problem. Number 9 on the right side of the defense for Florida comes basically unblocked. See that again? Number 9 goes right between number 66 there and number 64. 64 kind of gets his hands off of him. Frankly, we're lucky this pass even gets away. He's under so much pressure. Basically, he's just dumping the ball off to Badie because he has no other option. Now, unfortunately, once again, Keke Chisholm probably getting a little frustrated in this ball game here. Once again, he breaks wide open. You see Chisholm, number 6, just to the left of Bannister. Well, he beats his man on a flag route here, and he's waving his hands once again. And yep, indeed, he is frustrated. He's grabbing his chin straps and throwing him down. But you know what? Again, hard to blame Bazelak for missing him there. He doesn't have enough time to get to that. He needs more than a split second to let that route actually develop and get it downfield. So unfortunately, Connor just has to kind of step up, chuck the ball down to Badie, and, well, unfortunately, it doesn't work. But fortunately, Harrison Mevis hits a field goal, and it's 3-3. One real positive from this game, I thought, was the play of young cornerback DJ Jackson here, number 36. You'll see him on the left side of the formation here for Missouri. And single high safety, Tigers playing good aggressive defense, as I think they should here against Emory Jones, as limited of a passer as he can be in a lot of ways. So DJ here, you can see him again on the outside left here. Got a little bit of outside leverage because he knows he's got some safety help to the inside. Ball snapped. As soon as this guy puts his foot in the ground, boy, am I tired of that phrase, but as soon as he actually does put his foot in the ground here, DJ recognizes that, yes, this is a slant pattern. Little bit of a low throw here by Jones, but as you can see, Jackson gets his hand in there nicely, helps force an incompletion. Really, really nice play by DJ Jackson, and one of many in this ball game. Really encouraging sign here. One of many for the Missouri defense, but especially seeing a young corner step in there for a Caleb Evans, a guy who's been by far Missouri's best corner this season. Well, DJ Jackson stepped in, and the Tiger defense didn't miss a beat. Speaking of good coverage, Chris Abrams' drain here. You can see Emory Jones rolling out, letting this concept develop here. Kind of a deep out route. Abrams' drain just all over it. You can see as soon as number 1, again, starts to plant here and make his move, he kind of tries to shimmy him to the inside. Abrams' drain not falling for it whatsoever. In fact, he is just absolutely all over this route. Maybe my only criticism here, hey, how about getting 2 hands in the air and picking it off? But, actually, as you can see here, a really high point. What do I know? Abrams' drain knows what he's doing. He puts 1 hand up in the air, knocks it down. Really nicely done here by a kid who doesn't have a lot of experience at this level playing D-back, but a nice season for Missouri. Seems to be getting even better as the year goes along. He wasn't targeted a whole lot. that I can remember against Florida, and, well, you can kind of see why with coverage like this. All right, so now it's 3rd and 10 here, about the 40-yard line. One might think Missouri would be playing the pass here, but no, they are not, because they realize, Steve Wilks realizes, it's a bit of a limited Florida passing attack, and sure enough, the Gators simply content to just run a pretty simple handoff here on 3rd and long. You can see Martez Manuel, the strong safety here on the right side. Yeah, this is a pretty aggressive defense, folks, and Florida, despite this look, they're not going to try to throw it here. That's pretty incredible. But there it is. Manuel makes a nice tackle for basically no gain. Missouri forces a field goal. Again, I think you got to give Florida some credit. Their defense came to play. It wasn't just bad Missouri offense whatsoever, at least from my vantage point. 1st and 10 here, another pretty clever way to get Badie the ball. You notice number 6 here on the Florida defensive line unblocked. Well, the idea is, okay, let's get some guys out in front for Tyler Badie. Makes a lot of sense, right, in terms of the play design. Unfortunately, on the chalkboard, you expect Tyler Badie to be able to outrun this guy, but number 6 does a heck of a job of recognizing what's happening here. He realizes, hey, wait a second, I'm unblocked, takes a step, goes to his left and realizes, oh, this is probably going to Badie. Hey, they've been talking about number 1 all week, and just makes an excellent play, honestly, because, well, if he doesn't make that play, you can see there's plenty of room, plenty of Missouri blockers out here, although 22 was moving to the ball as well. So clearly the Gators very much focused on Tyler Badie, and they executed that game plan very well, especially in the first half. And not only was DJ Jackson good against the pass in this ball game, well, it turns out he can tackle too, and sure is a good thing he can on this play. Florida runs a nice little counter play, gets what they want, really. Basically, if number 20 here can just make 36 miss, and at this moment, looking like a pretty good chance that's going to happen, doesn't it? Jackson does a nice job, though, of setting the edge. Hey, we talked about that, making sure that that player doesn't get to his outside. You can tell there's at least one Missouri defender there who has a chance on the inside before stumbling, but just good fundamental football here by Jackson. Doesn't panic, makes him go to the outside, and then just makes a good fundamental tackle, drags him to the ground. Nicely done. Martez loving it. He knows that's a good play. Now, this is more what you want to see from Connor here in terms of pocket presence. On this play, just a really nice ball, number 1, but the reason he's able to make this play in the pocket, just kind of hops forward a little bit, buys himself some time, avoids this edge rusher here, I believe number 33. Really excellent job of just stepping up, finding some time, and letting this route come open here to, I believe, Niko Hea. Yeah, I think that's who it is, 48. Yep, I believe that's correct. And look where Niko comes on this route, too. This wasn't the easiest read. It's not like, oh my God, he's obviously open, but runs past number 0 here, throws it over the top of number 11. Great touch, great timing, good decision, and most importantly, good pocket presence there by Bazelak. So friend of the show, Blake Stark, was definitely complaining to me about this spin out screen pass. Well, maybe it was called a few too many times, I can grant you that, but this one should have worked. I can't complain about the play call here. This one's on Connor for sure. You got to say that. Unless number 1 maybe he gets a finger on the ball here. That could be possible. But either way, you got to get this ball to Badie here. That doesn't look like a deflection to me. It really just looks like, yeah, I really don't think that ball's deflected. I think this is just a poor throw by Bazelak. And this is the first time in the first half here with about, you see 7 minutes and 47 seconds left here in the first. Just a perfect play call. You finally get your best player wide open. I mean, look at how open he is. The closest defender is barely within 10 yards here. Decent chance he goes to the house. Certainly it's going to be a first down, but good luck to number 22 actually making an open field tackle here. Too bad. That was a missed opportunity for Missouri. So once again here, you can just tell how little Steve Wilks respects Emory Jones in the passing game here. It's 2nd down and 11. You know, you would think a pretty good chance at a pass here, right? But guess what? Jalen Carlisle, the free safety, comes on a blitz. I mean, you've got zero coverage here, man-to-man, all over the place. Jones takes a huge shot from Carlisle, as you can see here. Gets knocked down hard. Once again, good coverage here by Chris Abrams-Drain, just all over it. Another near interception here. Great game here by Abrams-Drain. Looking back, was so focused on how well DJ Jackson played, I don't think I realized that old KAD put in another banner performance in the Missouri secondary. And now we see the true magic of keeping the play alive, of being able to extend the play with your feet. Connor gets outside of the pocket here, keeps his eyes downfield nicely, realizing, 52 is going to kill me. I definitely don't want to run that way. So what does he do? Fires it to his man, Towski Dove, all the way downfield here. Just decides, what the heck, let's take a shot. I'm guessing number 22 here for Florida didn't imagine he was going to be covering that far down the field on this one. Does a good job of running with him, but Towski does a much better job of actually getting to the football and high pointing it. Excellent play there. Towski's 2nd great catch of the day already for a huge first down for Missouri. Really nicely done. This was actually a huge play in this ball game. Surprised it didn't ultimately bite Missouri in the butt a little harder, honestly. Missouri up 9-6 with a chance, obviously, to go up 2 possessions if they get it in the end zone. That's what I'm thinking as a fan, and, well, the last thing you want on 1st and 10 is a low snap that Bazelak doesn't catch, unfortunately, and, well, we see the result of that. Frankly, a pretty good job by Connor just to grab the ball and throw it out of bounds and make it, not turn the ball over anyway. Of course, this ultimately ends up being an intentional grounding, but look at the shot that Bazelak takes. He's totally exposed here in the air, just throwing it away. Just gets hit hard. Gosh, his head might have hit on the back of the turf there. You can tell he's not exactly feeling great, as whatever that mysterious lower body injury that Drinkwitz refuses to specifically tell us about, well, he wasn't looking real great after this one. Watch how Bazelak gets up here. Just a little bit shaky. Badie helps him up. He's going, "You all right, bro?" And he's going, yeah, I guess so. Limping around a little bit here. Give me a second, will ya? You can see the referee throwing the flag there for the intentional grounding. Well, after that aggressive Missouri defense I've been talking about by Steve Wilkes, totally agree with the strategy, by the way. Well, eventually you're bound to get beat on one. You can see not exactly a lot of help over the top here. It's all one-on-one. Carlisle. See, Chris Abrams-Drain ends up taking the running back out of the backfield. Then Carlisle has to come down and just, gets a little bit burnt here, quite honestly. A little shake and bake by 14. Good speed, good hustle by Carlisle and DJ Jackson to come down and make this play here. Jalen obviously gets the tackle, but yeah, eventually this is going to happen. You're going to get burnt on the back end eventually if you play this kind of defense. But you know what? I can live with the occasional 40-yard gain if it means actually playing really good defense for the most part, especially against the run the rest of the game. Obviously, the kind of defense Missouri was playing against Texas A&M and Tennessee especially, unacceptable. This is a lot better. But occasionally, if you're going to be that aggressive, even somebody like Emory Jones is going to hit that type of pass and, takes basically one missed tackle and you got a huge gain on your hands. Now, this might be just a personal preference thing here, but this is, to me, where zone blocking goes awry. And here's what I mean here. 3rd and short here. Missouri, look at their guard in the center here. On the right guard in the center. Okay? So Missouri double teams the nose guard here. Okay? They double team him. Meanwhile, that leaves a linebacker unblocked. Old number 11 here, who's guarding Daniel Parker Jr. They put Parker in motion so he can throw a little trap block here or something like that. Well, Unfortunately, he just leads his man into the backfield. And Missouri doesn't have enough guys to block here. So to me, man blocking, everybody just takes a man, you run forward, gain a yard, and move the chains. Zone blocking there just a little bit too cute by half. I don't really see the total need to double team that nose there. It's not as though that's Vince Wilfork or some 330-pound run gap stopper. Those guys don't really exist anymore. That's not really how football is played these days. So to me, a little bit of overthinking there in terms of blocking. I don't know, maybe Missouri just doesn't do man-to-man blocking, but I would rather see that in the future. So quickly here, once again, Connor just showing inaccuracy on a quick little screen pass. It's 3rd and 14. Just trying to set something up here to Badie. He goes the opposite way of where he's set up. And it's set up pretty well. I mean, you can see 64 from Missouri out in front here. Not that many guys around Badie. Now, there's 2 Florida defenders there on the back end that have a good shot at getting him. So he's probably not going to get to the sticks. But the point is, if you're Bazelak, you got to complete this and at least give him a chance. Give your best player a shot at getting the first down. That's just a miss. You can't miss that. And there's been, for all the talk about Connor's sort of deep ball accuracy, boy, to me, the short ones that he's missed have been as big of a problem as anything. Hey, remember when I said first half we were all kind of begging for Tyler Badie to be used as a bit of a decoy, right? Well, now here it is, 1st and 25. Missouri just got some kind of penalty, a hands to the face, something like that. Not looking great here, right? Well, perfect time to draw up something that could break big, and this is it. Use Tyler Badie, who's lined up here on the left side of your screen. Obviously, hey, a screen pass, we're going to get a lot of attention going to Tyler, but even better, almost a little bit of a rub route. You think Niko Hea coming out here to block that man. Oh, no, he's just going to keep running. Number 8 gets turned around. Beautiful play design. Hea with just enough speed to beat the defender to the end zone. Touchdown, Missouri. Great play call by Eli Drinkwitz at, frankly, the perfect time. Perfect execution by the Tigers. Nice throw by Connor. Everything nicely done there. Now, Florida here with an empty formation, actually quads is what this is called. 4 receivers to the right side of the formation. You can see absolutely no safety help whatsoever. You got 5 guys on the 5 Florida receivers, man on man, and then obviously 6 defenders in the box for Florida again, 6 defenders in the box for Missouri against 5 guys to block them. Hey, if you're Emory Jones and nobody drops to pass here, you better get this ball off quick. Well, that's exactly what happens. Missouri brings all 6 defenders, and a guy just runs right up the A-gap here. I mean, if you're Jones, you just got to know, I'm throwing this thing as soon as I catch it. But he tries to buy time, get on the back of his foot, and takes a heck of a shot while doing so. That ball has no chance to be complete. Hey, that spin out play action fake, for lack of a better term, that Eli Drinkwitz likes to run? Well, hey, it's 4th and 2. Turns out Dan Mullen likes this play as well, and you can see why. Kid gets wide open for an easy throw to Jones. Big gain, first down, Gators. Now, to me, for as much as we all love the 2-point conversion, the Niko Hea touchdown, this could be as important as any of them. This could be the play of the game right here. It's 3rd down and 1. Missouri up by 3, 9 minutes left. Obviously, Florida driving the ball. Well, guess what happens? As we said in our preview episode, Florida likes to run the speed option in these kind of critical downs, and that's exactly what they get here. Blaze Aldridge, 25 here on the outside as your unblocked defender. So obviously they're trying to put him in a bind. And Blaze does a perfect job, doesn't panic, recognizes the play immediately, flattens out, makes Emory Jones pitch the ball. But because he recognizes this so early, Emory has to pitch the ball a little bit earlier than he wants to. That gives Blaze enough of an angle to recover, stop the running back short of the first down. Big time football there by Blaze Aldridge, and about as good as you can play that particular situation. So it's 3rd and 15, and like a lot of good defensive coordinators, Steve Wilks throws in a little wrinkle here that we haven't seen all game. Just a lot of aggressive man coverage with a lot of blitzing from Missouri so far, and certainly not a lot of safety help. Well, it's 3rd and 15, and that's exactly what they show here pre-snap. But guess what happens? Darius Robinson, number 6, interior lineman here, drops back. Pretends like he's going to rush at 67, but drops back into coverage and nearly picks this ball off. That would have been an possible game-winning interception there by Darius. Gets his big paws up in the air, almost makes a heck of a nice athletic play there, but just a little bit too high. Good wrinkle, though, and obviously a good play by Darius. Look how wide open this guy comes. If he doesn't get his hands on that football, well, that's a potentially huge gain there, possibly up to the 40 or even 50-yard line. So nice athleticism there from an interior defensive lineman, and you can see why Wilks trusted him in that particular spot. And finally, as you might expect, we will end here with the game-winning 2-point conversion. And after the game, Eli Drinkwitz said that Daniel Parker was Connor's 3rd option on this play, but I don't know. I hate to call Eli a liar, but if he's the 3rd option, I don't know. I'm not sure I believe that, because usually when a tight end comes across the formation, you see Daniel Parker here on the right side coming across, kind of trying to sneak around. That seems like a primary option to me. That seems like how this play was designed. So, I don't know, Eli, maybe a little gamesmanship there, maybe trying to get people to think about something else if Missouri runs this play again, but I find it hard to believe that that's not the primary option. Where else was Connor supposed to throw the football here? To me, this is, again, it's the spin-out sort of screen, as we've called it here. It looks like that anyway, except, oh, wait, we're not actually going to throw it to Badie this time because, well, number one, if I throw it there, I might get killed. So let's go back this way and fall down to the wide open Daniel Parker. I think that's just Connor knowing, hey, he's wide open. I better just get it out there to him. And unbelievable play. What a moment. You got to feel just so happy for this entire ball club. The seniors, of course, like Mike Maietti and Tyler Badie, of course, Kiki Chisholm, the whole crew. Just what a finish. And Daniel Parker Jr., for him to end his Missouri career like that, his Columbia career, I should say, his last game at Faurot Field, after the stuff he's been through, that eye injury, brutal eye infection that, threatened to cost him his sight at one point. I mean, to come back from all that, to catch this game-winning pass, unbelievable. What a finish to these guys' careers, and I couldn't be happier for them, as you can probably tell. So thank you for joining me on this film study, and if you've enjoyed this, follow me 5 days a week on the Locked On Mizzou podcast here on YouTube or wherever you get your audio podcasts for free.